today to celebrate my new book, The Moons of Kashar, One Magical Tale and 20 Poems of Love. Once, when time was misunderstood, there beamed a planet, Kashar by name, lit by a handful of moons. This planet spun in the galaxy like woven crystal, and any who lived on a neighboring planet and catching a glimpse imagined the inhabitants to be the happiest beings in the whole universe. But the truth be known, the inhabitants of Kashar were forced to obey the whims of their cold and selfish ruler.
Selfish? I beg to differ.
Excuse me?
Cold? No, not cold. Aloof, maybe. Certainly not cold.
Okay. Do you mind? I'm kind of rude here. Okay. I don't know. But anyway, whose only interest was to gather for himself as much light as possible for the moon's rays.
Now, this will not do. Let me by. Just let me pass.
To ensure the maximum amount of light for himself.
And why not? Kings have the right, do they not? I am the king, and kings have the right to be right.
Excuse me, sir. You really do have to sit down.
Well, to tell you the truth, I'd really like to know what you're doing down there reading my story.
Your story? Excuse me?
Yes, I happen to be the storyteller.
Actually, it's both our stories. We're both the storytellers.
Oh, well, okay. Well, yeah, it's true. There are storytellers in this tale, but, well, I happen to be the creator here.
What? The creator? Blasphemy. Blasphemy. Do you hear what she claims to be? Gods! Gods! Take her away!
Sir.
Take her away to the deepest places and how dare you! How dare you!
I think you better let me handle this.
We'll both handle
I'm
this if
so
you
happy.
don't mind.
I'm so happy that you're going to help me out.
We'll take care of it. Your story will be read.
And don't fret, my dear. There are no deepest pits. You'll see that was pure hyperbole.
Well, yes, good. Very good indeed. All right. Now, thank you. Well, wait.
Let me have a good look at you. Yes, I do recognize you now.
Oh.
No, Oj. King Oj. It's ego spelled backwards.
Oh, clever. Really
You're a
clever.
dictator and too a buffoon.
What? You say this to my face? How dare you? Gods, take her away! Take her away to the deepest
Deepest pits. I know. But most of all,
You are, at this point in the tale, a bully and a bore.
no need to say more. I agree. In fact, I think it's time to revise this character to a certain degree. How hard can it be? Oh, my imagination is replete with other types of kings. Yes, come to think of it, it's absolutely time to erase.
Erase? What do you mean?
Yes, revise. Surprise every one of us.
Please, you have my life in your hands. Okay? I do admit I sometimes get carried away. Take her away to the deepest pits.
And just to clarify a bit, please note, neither the author nor I was one who made up that ridiculous snippet.
It's not my fault I've begun talking on my own. I mean, you described me so well, I started to believe myself. Where are we now? Where are you now in the tale, I mean?
Well, it was just about time King Oj had seen fit.
In order to hoard the maximum amount of moonlight for himself.
King Oj had seen fit to have every child's eyes dulled by the lenses of theorite.
Oh, yes. Yes, I remember now. A smoky grey lens. The fitting of which was not in the least uncomfortable, not one bit. It was
Thus making the child unable to receive the full unabated light from the 12 Kashar moons.
Depriving them of their true radiance, their birthright, their inheritance.
I remember how at age of 5, I, along with others at my school,
Oh, can it be? Oh, yes, I think it is.
all of us grew dreary, more and more confused. diffused a smokiness, clouding clear perception, denying any depth of vision.
And so, what needs you with vision? Another name for lollygagging about, ignoring the what and the wherefore to work and produce what you're worth.
Nothing shone like it did before, when all was one person responsive, when I and the world were one.
Ridiculous.
The trees spoke to us then. Too, we viewed our own imaginings in each other's eyes. All was alchemized.
Poppycock.
Oh, my God. Oh, it is you. I can't believe it. You're here. You're alive. Oh, I was sure the dragons. No, don't move. Excuse me. I'm coming right to you. Pardon me.
No, stop. No, that won't do. I mean, you can't meet up there, dear girl. If you are to proceed, you must do the scene down here. Yes. Good. Yes. All right. You too. You see, this here is the fourth wall. That's theater talk, in case you didn't know. Once here, all of you out there are free, finally, to relax, let go. In other words, suspend your disbelief. Meet Oj, our king, our warrior, Mira, and Chandra, our heroine.
You went off to fight and left me terrified.
I had no choice.
The dragons are mad, not even with your ire souls.
Do you think me without courage? Not equipped.
What I think, what I know is that you are my only friend.
And as a friend, offer some encouragement.
For what? For you to destroy yourself?
Why have you no confidence? What makes you so convinced I'm not invincible? You were there when I trained those many, many years.
12 long years, I know. The dragons are eternal. Their skill at devastation has been honed for millennia. Mira, you can't go. I hate the Furite as much as you, but war with the dragons?
Who keep all in Kashar riven.
By a king's decree.
That's my job, to make decrees.
Than any in Kashar who dare remove the Furite. To steal extra moonlight,
Be ripped, shredded, incinerated. Stealing extra moonlight is a capital offense, and every dragon is prepared to carry out the consequence.
These beasts, Mira, are bred to violence. You are not meant to match their ancient thuggish ways.
And what do you expect? For me to live like you in mere hope that some mysterious power shall lay waste this terror?
No, it's clear that we must rid ourselves of the 4 dragons. But fighting the dragons head-on in ways of old won't do. There is another way.
Oh, really? Are you serious? Rid the kingdom of the dragon's form. Are you serious?
Enough of me to keep you all in thrall, and no puny warrior, certainly not your kind, will ever do me.
Oh, really? Well, don't be so sure, you odious thing. My obedience is not to you, nor to a king whose spirit is relinquished, who materializes only greed. And besides, without the Furite on my eyes, you are nothing but a mere illusion.
I say before your dearest love, beware your righteousness, your pride shall hasten your demise. Let's think. How flamed. Quick bursts of molten blue? No, perhaps too sudden and crisp that way. I suggest a more tormented mode. A slow and lethal burning. And just imagine, there are 3 more of you. One at every mark, breathing fire in the dark upon this blighted orb.
These dragons, oh, they were scarlet red and shone like crushed rubies.
With 3 marvelous heads and 3 exquisite tongues of fire.
Plus 3 eyes, 2 emerald and 1 steaming white. The white one, shot through with blood, sits smack in the center of each of their great and thorny chests.
And this is the eye that sees across space and time to discover anyone who dares disobey the king.
And in case anyone forgets about these doomsday creatures, I have ordered my scribe to portray them in words and pictures in the revered fat book.
Which was to be found
On every table.
in every house.
In the whole kingdom.
Yes, 'tis so. My appalling face in illuminated prose, with each initial letter on each page beset with gold, dearly befit my awe-inspiring, stultifying, terrifying station. I think I'll just sit. No, maybe I'll lounge. But I'll keep my wooden eye about. I'm always watching, aren't I? Such a lovely way to keep in touch. And such an easy job. A determined set of hisses here. Or there.
Now, King Oj did permit the inhabitants just a bit of light. Enough emission from the moon's rays so the Kasharites could marry and propagate.
And create goods and possessions.
Oh, I do love my goods and possessions. I mean, I kind of worship them.
And everyone had little choice but to create these goods and then consume.
And be consumed by such consuming.
Through the subtle persuasion of the king.
The king and all his lackeys who created enormous
Tacky images and
messages repeating one thing and then another.
contradicting that thing, then the other.
And if you ever doubted that you wanted,
Or even needed this thing or the other, you
You
had better make believe you did.
And this was true, particularly of the king's most favorite delicacy.
The bitter,
Yet sweet.
never sour,
Though tart.
the incomparably complex
Supreme.
kumquat.
Kumquat! In the latest revision, the one we both agreed upon, you may recall, we both decided upon the sour cherry. You know how much I much prefer the sour
King
cherry.
Ojussi loved kumquats, and every baker, every confectioner would spin his brain thinking of different ways of making the kumquat into a more exotic and delectable dish. And no matter if you happened not to like kumquat,
Well, yes, as a matter of fact, I for
you
one
would at
already
the very least make believe you liked them.
Oh, yes, of course. Which was so. Of most everything else, the people of Kashar did, saw, or consumed.
And in no time at all, every Kasharite made believe so often, they soon had no idea
of what they liked or didn't like.
of what they needed or didn't need.
And being so distracted, had not one single solitary moment to find out.
And
wasn't that just what the king wanted?
Oh, it's time.
It's time. Time for what?
The time of the birth has arrived.
No. That's much later on in the tale. Much later. Several pages on.
And this retelling puts it back to where it first belonged.
What do you mean? You cannot just keep changing things.
Why not? Everything changes. We tell the tale.
Well, not really. It's the author who tells
Oh, you
the
just
tale.
deplore whenever I improvise a quick, brilliant shift. Admit it. As I was about to say, the day of the birth arrived, and all in Kashar were filled with joyous expectation. This was in ancient times, before the hated fear-eye had been placed upon each child's eyes, so all absorbed the full glow of the moon's rays.
In honor of the royal birth, the whole kingdom was hung with china berries, snapdragons, wisteria, all exotic and mysterious in their radiance.
And each inhabitant of Kashar created a gift, which was a true expression of their soul's delight, be it a ring, or a poem, or a persimmon pie.
All was peaceful. Early morning, the moon's climbing over the hills. And then a cry. Oh,
But not a cry of thanksgiving. No.
not a cry of delight, not a rhapsody of thanksgiving, but instead a shuddering, an exclamation of such pain.
Of such anguish so awful that the ground began to tremble and the sky turned purple black as the news shuddered out. The royal baby
Doraine, dead.
Oh, it cannot be. No. That was not all.
The queen too had died. Oh, impossible.
What unimaginable loss.
And all throughout the kingdom of Kashar. Who could hear what's the crack of a million hearts?
The child and the mother.
No more.
That time was my private hell. My beloved queen, my beautiful child, dead.
And you remember your bargain as well? Out of spite and your rage, you bound us to the miserable Theorite and the dragon's form!
Out of respect for your grandfather, Zael, I say unto you now, are you certain of what you desire? Then at the outset, no, it is impossible to grant you immortality.
Oh, and why is that?
Because you are simply no candidate.
Not up to snuff, eh? May I remind you, sir, that I am the king, and king...
Oh, shut up! As I was about to say, no mortal is granted years interminable without an awakened heart, a vital soul. You incompetent, are simply no candidate. Yet I might arrange a life 5 times the normal one.
Ah, well, that sounds quite good, quite
Silence! Are you willing to commit both mind and spirit to the 4 ferocious, terrible dragons? Just nod your head. For you to deflect the dragon's influence, you will draw the greatest amount of moonlight for yourself, and therefore must decree that every child at age of 5 be fitted with lens of Theorite, a gritty grey substance which in your world is found in great abundance.
Is that all?
All? I think not. You are to meditate 7 days and nights on the boiling, bloodshot eyes of the 4 ferocious, terrible dragons. And finally, you will drink this down to the very last disgusting drop. It is of such viscosity that perhaps it would be better to savour it. But what you might wonder is this murky brew, aged for millennia, in the liver and hearts of all who are desolate. It is Despara, and I assure you, after it is ingested, no authentic joy or sorrow, but only a tingling mediocrity shall pervade your newly refashioned heart.
What is the meaning of this? Guards! Guards!
No, please, sir, I mean no harm.
What do you want? Who are you?
I am no one, sir.
I know that box. How? Where did you find it?
I was given it with strict instructions to bar no risk that you might... Oh. Are you quite well, please? I meant no harm.
Take them out.
What?
Take them out. The lenses of fear. I do it. Do it now.
And seeing the king through the mirror's reflection, all time flooded past. She remembered the moment of her birth, her nursery window, and too,
The midwife's cry. Oh, the child so perfect is dead in her cradle. Such tiny hands and feet, such pearls and rubies still.
and later the rapid succession of stones leading to a door, and the midwife crying, "Oh, I meant you no harm. I meant no harm. When your little heart stopped, I thought you dead. whilst you live, the king would have me killed, or at the very least blame the little babe for his queen's death.
So the midwife stole the child away through a dark wood and found her a loving home.
Father, I'm here. I've come home.
Oh, how can it be so? My soul, my very soul, you're not dead after all. Oh, God, the dragons. They know. You must go this instant. Leave.
Leave? No, I cannot go. We've only just now met. Here, rest. You only need a moment to revive. You've had a shock, seeing me so suddenly. But now you're back and we have time.
Oh, time. My dear child, no time at all. From this moment on, I am on loan. The dragon, he returns to claim what is his own.
What do you mean?
Never mind. We'll not speak of it. Sit and visit. Look on you, it erases all despair. You have your mother's face.
My mother? It feels strange to say the word. Mother. To imagine motherless I've been.
Yes, as so the whole kingdom. Who would it have been who have stolen you away? I had not the slightest inkling you survived. The midwife. Why? Who else but she? If she lives, I'll find her. I'll quarter her. I'll cast her to the fire.
Hush. We have so much to learn about each other. But first, tell me, sir, what is it like to be king, so powerful?
Very powerful. I never feel powerful. I only act the part. For me, all power ceased the day that the Queen and you were gone.
Tell me about her. My mother. Her name, at least.
Name? Evangeline.
And did she like to paint or draw?
What? Paint? Draw? What do you mean?
I love to paint, you see. I'm an artist, and I take my work quite seriously. That portrait I made of the queen that shocked you so, I made unknowingly. It just flowed from my pen. It is the best of any portrait I have done. The others are not nearly as good, but that's besides the point. The desire to paint and draw forever swamps my head. And yet, even as an artist, though it may be hard to believe, I make a decent living.
Really? How?
It is I who bake and sell those kumquat creams that you so heartily adore.
You're the one who makes all those fabulous treats.
Indeed.
Oh.
I'll make you scores.
Oh, my daughter. My heir. All the compassion within this realm, all the radiance of your mother's heart, all the vision of a beauty once set upon the planet Kashar, all this you hold. While I, no more. You must go this instant.
No.
Don't argue! The first one quick kiss. Seal set. New day. Lit.
Do not move an inch unless you want to be flaying before your father's eyes. I warn you, your little reunion is regretfully past. Dear father is suddenly, dear father, no more.
No!
Are you quite prepared?
What? Who are you?
You have asked for guidance, have you not? Do you not recall your very words to your rash and passionate counterpart? Facing the dragons in ways of old won't do. There is another way.
Yes? But,
To liberate the iron heart, demand inspired might, power of the most peculiar kind. You, young woman, the fates decree of one deemed worthy.
worthy? Worthy of what?
Face the dragons, my dear kumquat.
I? The dragons? I am no warrior, sir.
Ah, but you are.
No, I am an artist. And say again, I am no warrior.
You are beyond warriorship, my dear. Whatever you may imagine, I assure you it is more.
And with that, he was gone.
And Chandra, startled, overcome, stood frozen, benumbed. Chandra, she... What's the matter? I've got what follows. The pages are blank. One moment, please. Keep patience.
Make it up, like we're doing all along.
I can't.
Go on.
No, I can't. The inspiration's gone.
But that's ridiculous.
Well, then you go on.
Oh no, not that ploy again. Remember, Paris? You insisted I'd stolen your fire, forgetting entirely you requested assistance.
All right, then. Well, it seems my brain's gone numb. Perhaps it'd be better to succumb and retire to my solitude and call upon the muse.
In other words, our pleasure to recount a portion of this tale, but now we bid you please to leave, perhaps to later claim your seats at the appointed hour.
And if time's misunderstood as well for you, it may be weeks
Or months.
before discovering Chandra's new and thorough way to slay the dragons.
When at the appointed hour, the full tale, the theatrical show, The Moons of Kashar, will appear.
But for now, to each of you, we must bid adieu.
Adieu.
I've just found my way back here again. Well, I have a little time, of course. I haven't even read any poems. Oh my gosh.
No, Doraine, I'm
It's a
sorry.
fabulous book, and I
Doraine, we
wanted
don't
to-
have any time left.
What?
We don't have any time left. We have to clear the theater. I'm sorry.
You don't understand. I've already.
No.
This is my book.
On behalf of Gangs of the Cosmos, our fabulous author, Doraine Poretz, our amazing cast, our musician Michael Yost, Jenny Hodges, and the Electric Lodge. We want to give them all a big thanks. Please go out to the lobby. If you would like to know how the story ends, you can find out today if you want to buy a book. Doraine is in the lobby. She's ready to sign the book. There's also a playbill with all of the real names of our fabulous cast and the people who helped us today put this on. Again, thank you for braving the traffic on Sunday in Santa Monica and Venice, and we are very blessed to have you there. Thank you again.